Looks all good. Even Raysball giving everybody a cheeky good luck over in the text chat as we are into our freeze game. Once we get past this, it'll be either a 2s or a 1s matchup. And then it's all up in the air after that. We'll keep you up to date with how the format goes as we move through the series. But Complexity looking to try and put a little bit of a mark down here. They had a much improved regional in the last RLCS, but still not quite up to the standards that they had at the start of the season as AJG is able to turn the ball away, but they are up against the offense to start with.
Yeah, this is a good start for Little Set Bros, being able to get a few hits on net. If they just get completely boxed into their half, that's going to really hurt their confidence, and it's going to really make them rely a ton more on the ones than I think they already do for this matchup. Spiders misread that overhead clear. That allows Raysball to come in and chip the ball middle. Alphakep, who's got plenty of RLCS experience over the years himself. He's going to be drawn upon a bunch here today to help this team compete in the 3v3 against Complexity, one of the best teams in the North American RLCS.
Yeah, certainly so, as Raysball looks to try and set up off that backboard. Well covered, though, by Alphakep. Even gets to follow up afterwards. But there's no real options in the infield, so he has to try and go by himself, and he's still done well. Alphakep pretty rising to the challenge, despite the fact that he probably could have done with a little bit of a helping hand. Now see Creams going on in. It's sort of just look and see touches that we're getting from either side here. No real intent. It's like neither of them can figure out how they want to play it once they get a hold of the ball. Although that missed touch from Spider is going to open this up a little bit more. Raysball down the side, off the backboard, and way away from his teammates.
That's a good 50-50 by Shad. He was briefly the only player back after 2 committed for Complexity on a misread backboard touch. Liking the composure so far from Little Set Bros. They're not panicking, they're not double committing, they're communicating effectively. Here's another good chance, but Alphakep gonna struggle to get back to that one. Heavy hit into the ceiling as he was trying to set up a double.
Creams back into the corner where he did have a teammate ready and waiting, if not a little bit surprised that the ball was heading towards Spider. Now off the wall, Creams tasked with just launching the ball. Alphakep pops the ball onwards is the best move that we've seen from them. But even then, there's just no real fear over on the side of Complexity. In fact, I can kind of say the same as well for Little Cat. What's that? Little Cat Steps. That's an entirely different person. By the way, shout out to Little Cat Steps.
A great editor in the Rocket League scene there, but not playing at the moment. So I'm sure he's glad, because you don't want to Complexity. Though I'm sure you could put together a really good montage of it if you did.
I'm sure either of these teams like to edit the scoreboard, as with 2 minutes left, neither of them able to put anything in. Creams now with another save. This is the best offense we've had. First time the defense has really been tested. Shad wipes out one player. Raysball moved in a bit early, meant that they couldn't catch that ball clean. And Raysball back onto it. Boost not high enough for him to really have any options downfield. He's going to have to try and go by himself, something that he is more than happy to do off the backboard. Great shutdown there by Spider. Move Alphakep back in, but this is probably the most discombobulated we've seen this defense, and even then, we are seeing them hold up.
A great presence in the midfield, Alphakep, and both Creams and Spider getting goal side and multiple touches. That one actually forced wide. Spider was covering the majority of the goal. Creams now deflects the ball into the near post area. This is really slowing down the Complexity attack. They're seeing a lot more of the blue goal up close. Still, almost a minute to go, and they have not yet scored. This is some great defense on the back foot under pressure from Little Set Bros.
And this is the sort of style that in a crew battle format suddenly works a lot more. Whenever we see a team play a lot of defense, we always turn around and say, well, you can't win a series like that.
Yeah.
But you can win a game, and that's all you need in this format. I'm assuming he's called off. There we are, Creams. I'm going to let you off that one.
I love that from Alphakep. He was under threat of a demo from behind, pops it over the top of the challenge while avoiding that demo. Nice little 1v2 play, but here's AJG. Flights the ball to the backboard. Alphakep has backflipped. Rebound is on target. Creams deflects, but not able to send the ball clear. And with 30 seconds to go, Complexity finally crack open that defense.
Oh, they were so close to the perfect defensive game, but one mistake, one time it was hit on the wrong side of Creams' car. And that is all it took. Complexity have got the lead. And it was starting to hit that stage where playing this much defense was starting to work into the favor of Little Step Bros. Now they have to try and fight their way back into this, just to force an overtime. Might even leave them open for another goal off the backboard. Who's there to follow? Shad off the one. Can't follow up for a second. And now it's all up to Spider. Has he got anyone available? No, he hasn't got himself available. Wiped away off the play.
Yeah, lovely pressure on the retreat there from Complexity. That was looking like a bit of a threatening play for a second. Nice cover there from AlphaKep from his teammate. He was there to bail him out. Now they need a 0-second goal if they're going to take down the 3v3 in an upset win. AJG's got a goal the size of the entire floor to aim at, and he finds it off the post. Game 1 goes to Complexity.
And Complexity just eased into that one. I do feel an awful lot like Little Step Bros just invited them onto the offense, either intentionally or not. But we have got the shout here. AlphaKep calling for the 1v1 for our game 2. So that means, I believe, our third game is now locked in to be a 2s game. So looking forward to seeing not only that much, but also who's about to step up over here for this one.
Every single game is a must-win, but not for the same team from here on out. So must-win 1v1 for Little Step Bros. I really cannot see them winning a 2v2 and then whatever Complexity choose later on in the series. That's a tall order. They would have to win both. However, if they do win this 1v1, suddenly that 2v2 almost becomes a must-win for Complexity, because we're going to see another 1v1 later on. And I really do think this is the dynamic we're seeing here, with Complexity being a significantly stronger 3v3 team. But, well, we'll find out soon. Little Step Bros having that ones player, as I think it will be AlphaKep coming in. Although, you know, Spider's got a little bit of 1v1 practice, or 1v1 history as well. I still expect it to be AlphaKep. He's got the experience. He looks composed today. And as for who he's going to be up against, well, I did get a sneaky peek at Razebull 1v1ing AJG in the warm-up lobby, and Razebull was winning. So who knows, maybe it's going to be a sign of who's to come on the field for Complexity.
Okay, enough analysis, more ones. Get me into my ones game. I can't wait, man. We speak so much about this off stream where I'm just like, dude, I could do with any excuse just to learn more about ones, to watch more ones. Finally, the excuses here. We're going to jump into this. It is Razebull against AlphaKep. I don't think I'm too surprised by the choice of AlphaKep here. But he was performing relatively well. I would say the strongest player on the field for Little Step Bros in the previous game. He's going to need to be strong here, and didn't fall for the bait, so the nerves aren't there for him.
Well, AlphaKep has been top 10 in the ranked leaderboards in 1v1 many times. Razebull, not quite that high, but he's still someone I've seen kicking about the top 100, so this should be a competitive matchup. And luckily for Razebull, they've got that 3v3 win already. They're in control of this series at the moment, so pressure is off. He can even just go all guns blazing here, really try and catch AlphaKep off guard with aggression, maybe get an early lead. He's actually sniped the top corner on the inside of the post of his own net there to start a counter-attack on the far side.
Oh, this.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the style I was expecting from Razebull, and I love it. The world's most frustrating playstyle to go against. What a great cut inside, though. AlphaKep completely knees wobbling as that one came over the top of him.
It was just the setup of this that's so brilliant. I can't imagine that he meant to hit the inside of the post, because that's so risky to aim for, as an own goal is the next thing just over 1 or 2 centimeters to the right. But he managed to do it brilliantly, and that really wrong-footed and wrong-wheeled AlphaKep, who was on the wrong side of the field, couldn't shadow easily in that position. Now Razebull stealing the boost. He set that up with a fake shot. Now the floor pinch. He's got a boost advantage here, albeit a small one. AlphaKep's on 0, so when you've got 12 boosts and your opponent's on 0, you can accelerate significantly faster.
Oh, that's so good. Razebull faded it 2 or 3 times, didn't land on the wall the way he needed to, otherwise that might have been a breakaway goal. And off the challenge, all the good work, Razebull still recovers it just in time. Razebull is tricky. He keeps that full speed as often as he can, doesn't drop it even whilst fainting over and over again.
AlphaKep taking all the big boost pads as the two drive down the left-hand side of the field there now. Switches sides.
Oh no. Oh no.
The ball, and he secures it for the equalizer. Razebull had to go to the back corner to grab boost, and he was not able to defend the splendid reset shot from AlphaKep.
Yep, this is where you knew AlphaKep was going to step up and find his best work, when he could finally get a bit of breathing room. It's going to be very difficult to come by against Razebull. But that is just what he's capable of, and it's the old Cook City kickoff. That's been around since Battle Cars, and that's been the result since Battle Cars.
Phenomenal stuff. What a mix-up there from AlphaKep, completely fooling Razebull and then sneaking into that back corner to steal his boost away. Razebull thought that he could get there first. He was wrong, and AlphaKep has taken his 1 goal lead, turned it around on him. What's kickoff has he got in store for us here? Right back to standard. This time Razebull has possession and boost.
All right, Razebull's opportunity. He's already seen what AlphaCap can do. AlphaCap actually staying further out this time, and it did not work. Very unconventional defense, and Razebull's going to take advantage.
It looked like AlphaCap was more afraid of the air dribble bump than anything. He's trying to position himself in a weird position so that it's difficult for Razebull to make a beeline towards him. Razebull wasn't interested in the flip in the air dribble bump. He's the flip reset merchant, so he was only interested in one thing. He made it work.
The fact that there was only one is maybe a little bit of a disappointment to him. Razebull, though, 0 boost. He's not getting back to this. Recoveries simply not there. And Johnny, for anyone that's maybe a little bit newer to ones, you know, typically watch the Freeze tournaments, just explain real quickly about how those recoveries work, especially when you take yourself to the air like that.
Yeah, if you're committing that much to a play, you need to at least force a very difficult save out of your opponent or score. Anything other than that is going to result in an open net. Well, unless we see open net accuracy, the likes of which Daniel had on display in the previous match. Oh. Probably a little pop-up from Razebull straight at the goalkeeper on this play. AlphaCap was anticipating something like this the last time around. He probably knew it was coming this time as well, but what can you do when it's done that well?
Yeah, just got bopped in the nose as soon as he tried to defend that one. He's going to be very unhappy, though, his first touch. Might have wanted to take that back to his own corner, and instead just popped it straight over to Razebull, who has completely abandoned the different starter kickoffs after that last one did not work for him. Although, again, Johnny, it's a very close ones game. Had that in the previous one. Razebull, who's going to get there? He's bumped into it. Pull shot secured for Razebull.
Yeah, AlphaCap had to do something here, but he really threw this away. He had 100 boost. Razebull had hardly any. But AlphaCap concedes possession, lands on the wrong side of the ball, and then he's pull shot Razebull. Technically an own goal there with a car in between. That is a really big throwaway there from
here it is.
AlphaCap. And Razebull is going to mix up the kickoff again. This time he gets it right, though. Doesn't give AlphaCap as obvious of a reaction time.
Yeah, he caught it so much better. Now it's Razebull, just tried to float it straight in. I do like that he didn't try and mix up too much there. You've got to try and keep AlphaCap at least on his toes. As AlphaCap sets up, this is great. Now so much angle to work with, but Razebull just plants the car beautifully. Loses the boost, although AlphaCap did turn in. Now he's going to try and trip up Razebull on his way. He's done exactly that. He's claimed the ball, but he has not claimed the boost. Razebull can continue to try and set up here. He's knocked him off the field. Now it's the most difficult part, the open net. How quickly can you control? Razebull's done it.
Lovely finish from Razebull. Flicks it in the only part of the goal that AlphaCap can't cover on spawn. Top corner at the far post from where AlphaCap was. Razebull is doing a great job here. AlphaCap threw away an advantageous position to put himself 1 goal behind, but that was just full control there by Razebull, knowing how to manipulate AlphaCap's positioning by moving the ball in between him and a boost, and just when AlphaCap thought he could even out the boost disadvantage by going for it, he lost it. Now he's going to get one back. AlphaCap able to shrug off the bump there and recover in time to score his 4th goal of the game.
You're talking about just manipulating player positioning. I think AlphaCap has been a step behind on that throughout this game, but that was a significant improvement from him, just being able to get Razebull jump in. AlphaCap obviously cannot see the boost totals, but it is a lot easier to keep a mental track of where your opponent is boost-wise. I feel like, though, on occasion, oh my goodness, he's left it.
Wow.
And Razebull, I mean, you already know it's Razebull. He's not leaving. He's not faking this. He's taking the shot.
Briefly there, AlphaCap did look behind him. He used the camera look-back feature to check where Razebull was. He saw that Razebull was right behind him, but he just didn't do anything about it. He didn't react in time. Razebull jumps up, snipes the top shelf of the goal, and puts himself 2 goals in front again. AlphaCap should know that Razebull is going to go for the ball there, because you have to just play the ball. You can't give the entire pitch to your opponent.
AlphaCap keeps trying to feint, but he's not faking anybody. You know, Razebull understands what's happening. He's not falling for it. AlphaCap just maybe needs to commit a little bit more, or heck, even commit a little bit less, because it's not working this middle ground. As Razebull tries to get back, he's done, and it's very much worth the car that he paid in compensation. Now Razebull already set up. Great slow play, but Razebull repositioned the car beautifully mid-air.
Again, AlphaCap's conceded possession. He had a big boost advantage here, and he still will after this play, but Razebull's knocking the ball into safe locations. That's buying himself some time, and he's staying active as well. This is so frustrating for AlphaCap, who's had control of the possession, but finding the goal is so difficult. He still does so, and that took a long time. Luckily for AlphaCap, he's got plenty time left Razebull was really making that difficult for him.
The Alpha Cap's touch just to set that up was as good as it possibly could have been. Just with that angle, there's so much you can work with. You're working on your own time. Your opponent has to wait for you. And if they want to try and dive on in, then you're catching that on a beautiful challenge with the whole side of your car. So Alpha Cap's setup significantly improved. Now he's got 30 seconds to try and find a goal, and he's gonna do it. Razebull came in, and Alpha Cap did that whilst blinded by the ball. That was pure instinct.
Yeah, he knew. I mean, with the aggression that Razebull's shown up until now, Alpha Cap had to know that the early challenge was coming. Razebull has turned aggressively with a low boost in several positions this game. This time Alpha Cap caught him off guard.
And that's the reason why we love wands. The lead can disappear. It also might reappear. Oh, what a bump! Alpha Cap sends the ball to the stratosphere.
I cannot believe he saved this. It looked like a surefire goal, but Alpha Cap keeps it tied in a game that his team needs him to win.
Fantastic, and it's still going. Alpha Cap, he's got the boost to try and stave this off. Might even be able to try and turn this around, but Razebull goes to his own side. Over to overtime. 1 goal to secure it.
And it's going to be a standard kickoff from both. Alpha Cap deciding to play the ball here. Razebull couldn't go for the boost, otherwise his net would have been open. Both players have got very low boost here. Razebull, a little bit more to play, but he had to use so much to get to the ball there that he had to concede possession.
Yeah, now it's the angle that Alpha Cap wanted, and that one was significantly less blind. Could see Razebull at the side of the ball, pops it over the top, and Alpha Cap solves the riddle of Razebull in overtime.
I mean, Razebull, he caught Alpha Cap off guard with so many early challenges in this game, but he kept doing it a bit too many times at the end there. Alpha Cap saw it coming once again. That's how he equalized in the game, and he wins it the same way in OT. Fantastic stuff from Cap, bringing his team back in it. That means that we're going to have 2v2 next. I think this might be the most important game in this match. Whoever wins this, favorite to take it.
I have to agree with you now. I think we're going to 5 at this point.
Yeah, I really do.
Because whoever wins this, we're either getting, it's 1s or 3s that can be selected after that. We fairly certain Complexity will go for 3s. You know Alpha Cap will just want to stand his ground in that 1s.
Yeah, it'll be 1s if they'll Step Bros lose the 2s, if it'll be 3s if Complexity lose the 2s, and that means that both teams will get their advantageous matchup. But that being said, Razebull really held his own there. I think it took a while for Alpha Cap to figure him out, but once he realized Razebull's just sneaking in behind the ball, he's trying to position himself in such a way that when Alpha Cap is dribbling the ball on top of his car, the ball eclipses Razebull, and that way he can sneak in. His nameplate is hidden, the car is hidden, the challenge is hidden, but after you do it so many times, Alpha Cap just flicks the ball instinctively. He just pops it over the challenge that he knows is coming. Next game, if they do play it back, he'll know that's happening right from the get-go.
Mate, we need more crew battles. This is my shout to the world right now. Give me more of this moving forwards. I am loving every single moment because that's a storyline now that we, pack up in its neat little package. We might resume it later on, but for now, we get ourselves back in, and Alpha Cap is gonna continue his scoring spree. And one thing you might notice, Razebull is gone, and Alpha Cap very much in.
Alpha Cap with a massive play there, fakes the kickoff, demos the second player from Complexity, and that just leaves it completely open. Briefly, 2v1 capitalized on by Lil Set Bros. What a kickoff strat.
What a start this is, and Cream's over to Alpha Cap. He couldn't quite get over to it. So here's the way of looking at this right now. Spider will now have been out of this series for, if it includes the time between goals, about 13, 14 minutes. Once games tend to last quite a while. Complexity, though, cycling through their players. Let's see what difference that makes. And heck, in the situation here that Complexity win this match, Spider might not have been playing up until game 5.
It really makes sense, though. Complexity are such an evenly matched team. They don't have that carry like the Space Station's Daniel. They don't have that carry like Alpha Cap for Lil Set Bros. It's very hard to pick on any day who the best player in this team is at any game mode, so it's great to see them cycling in every player. Even distribution of work, and will they be able to pull it off, though? Because we're already out the gate. We're not just seeing sneaky kickoff strats from Lil Set Bros, but also very solid midfield play as Alpha Cap just brings the ball down again. That composure that he showed in 3s is present in 2v2 as well.
No, Alpha Cap almost landed on the ball off the demo. Bit risky that time around. Alpha actually had to move all the way back. He's been struggling to pick up boost. Even missed that one on his first attempt. Currently, Little Step Bros in a very, very good position for themselves. Not just in this game, but across the entire series. If they take this, then all they have to do is throw in Alpha Cap one more time and get him to win one more ones game, no matter what happens.
You know, they've definitely got a chance in the 3v3 as well. It was a close game. So this is really great news for Little Step Bros. I think they've got a phenomenal opportunity to take this series.
I have a question. If we go to ones again, as Shad puts off the backboard, as we maybe off the second, no, finally taken away. When we get to that ones game again, I'm fairly certain we'll get into that ones game again. Who's sent in? Who takes on Alpha Keppers? Oh my goodness, I wouldn't want to be on the field against this guy right now. He is on fire.
Yeah, Shad tried to pop this up to waste some time, but unfortunately, AJG wasn't around to follow up on that touch. Shad vacated the area, so he can't follow up on his own touch. Alpha Kep, the first player on the scene, and he snipes the bottom corner. He is absolutely taking over this lobby.
Here's Creams' opportunity. Can't quite find the same lift of the ball. Alpha Kep on the way back. Full of confidence right now. Passes over to his teammate. He's wiped out, but off the shot, it's pulled in Shad to force the save. You can see just the jumping around. There's so much off the ball play in a twos game. It's all risk and reward over here. How much do you want to press forward? How much do you want to wipe out that other player by just sticking around, looking for the demos, stealing some boost? But it's also all about trust. As we go off the backboard, Shad just gets crumbled into by Creams off the challenge. Bit of a raised ball impression there off that one.
Yeah, great challenge though. If he backs up there, he's going to be in a tough position, shadowing against one of the complexity players at pace. Wasn't interested in that, just dove in before there was any time to react. In answer to your question earlier, by the way, I really do think that complexity will just send out Raise Bull again. He was pretty close. It was a one-goal game in the 1v1 against Kep, so if they do have to run it back, I think we would see more Raise Bull, but he would have to change his playstyle to become less predictable. Those early challenges were getting a bit easy to read at the end of the game that they previously played.
Yeah, I believe right now there is a little configuration file, a little notepad somewhere on Alpha Kep's computer that just says Raise Bull and just knows everything. The download was complete, and we might be heading over to that freeze game very soon because this is dominant.
Alpha Kep is just taking over once again. He easily disposes of the defense and leaves the net open for Creams. Complexity just don't have an answer for the Kep. Simple as that.
This is probably the format where having that star player has never been more prevalent. Across freeze, they're always there. You always see the pressure that's been created. But right now, just that one player that you need to nullify has become so much more difficult. Alpha Kep avoids the demo. Can he take this even further? He's eventually shut down by Shad, but with 64 seconds left in this game, there's a lot of work to do, and Shad's not got nearly the boost to do it.
Yeah, less than a minute to go. Creams a tight angle shot here, and he hits the post on it. AJG is able to demo Alpha Kep to buy them a little bit more time, but Creams doesn't really have to score there. Just had to make sure that he stays active in the following play, which is what he's doing, and now he backs off. AJG has just given the ball away to Alpha Kep. Demo comes through. Oh, it's actually open. Creams
that worked.
Taking out the play as well. That's like turned into a great play from AJG. He didn't just demo Alpha Kep, but Shad, meanwhile, is taking Creams out of the picture as well. No one on the field for Little Step Bros in that play.
Yeah, that looks really wasteful at the start of it, but instead just elongating the play. Gave more time for the demo to come through. And this is another one of those game modes where that 2-goal lead, the 3-goal lead that it was, is not as safe as you would typically see it in a freeze game. That will just disappear. Should a couple of plays go against you, just like this, we have ourselves a real match.
Complexity knew that they have to just throw everything in to attack in the last minute here, and that's what they've done. As a monster dunk comes in the back corner, Creams didn't get goal side, and it's bounced straight into the net off the ceiling. 22 seconds and 1 goal the difference.
Operation Full Send is on a timer, but Operation Full Send might be going to overtime. Instead, the ball straight over to Alpha Kep, the last player Anyone on Complexity wants to see with the ball. Shad has to dive in yet again. Alpha kept fully aware of that. Delayed it as long as he possibly could. The low boost amounts. 0 for Shad, 20 for AJG. Alpha kept smothers it. Have they thrown too much at this one? Looks like they have. And Little Step Bros 2 on that bounce. They have now got double match point. And it means that they will have control of Game 5 should we need it.
Forgotten actually who... Cole picked Complexity, I'm sure, as well. I'm feeling very happy about my...
I'm happy to change Cole's prediction, no matter what it was, to whoever was wrong at the end.
We got 3v3 pick coming through from AJG here as the highlights, mostly kept highlights, but great assisting role there from Creams as well. 2v2, not a game mode that you can just carry with one star player like 1v1, of course. Creams played his role, and it all started off, the initial goal ended up being the goal that separated the two teams. That brilliant kickoff strategy straight away before Complexity have any chance to really talk about twos. They're probably still reeling after the close 1v1 loss. And remember, the end of the 1v1 was the ridiculous save from AlphaCap into winning in overtime. Start off a 2v2, you get faked on the kickoff, you get demoed on the kickoff, and you're down 1-0 already. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Little Step Bros.
All right, so Spider will also be able to make it to the field for the first time since our very first game, as we have got threes on the way. Not really a surprise there. It would have been quite the statement. I would have loved to have seen it if Complexity called for the ones games themselves. But this was also a very difficult affair for Complexity, who did win the threes game to start off our series, but it was a solid defensive showing. Now, Johnny, in that series, I said that playing defensively or getting caught in a defensive spot is not how you would win a long series. Are we going to see something different here? I feel like we have to here from Little Step Bros because they looked figured out by the end of that threes game.
I think no doubt they're telling each other to play more aggressively here. They're trying to play faster. They're going to try and really take the fight to Complexity and beat them, tie up the 3v3 score, show them that they're just as good, if not better, in all the game modes. But against Complexity, I think they're just up against it here. The well-oiled machine, the unit, the synergy, the long-time synergy from playing together for such a long time, not just this season, but beyond this season. It's going to be tough to compete against.
Oh, Alpha Cap, though. He's the player that is very warm and very in form on this lobby. Been playing all of the games so far, 4th one in a row. Raised ball shot immediately stopped by Spider, who not showing any sort of rust, as he has been sat there on the sidelines. A bit of a different position as well, if you are a Rocket League player, because you don't usually sit there and...
Wow.
Well, he's been forced to sit down and watch Raised ball score.
And poor Cream's just caught off guard by AJG's cut of rotation, pass back to Raised ball, and unfortunately for Little Step Bros, the rest of the team was committed to the play as well. Phenomenal full team play there coming out of Complexity. That's what we've come to expect from them. And they're already proving that their dominance in threes is every bit as big as Little Step Bros' dominance in ones.
So I'm going to give you a quick update as well, both for Johnny and everybody at home, as to what is happening over on our secondary stream. Remember, twitch.tv, literally copy and paste our URL, add a B at the end. You've got yourself the secondary stream over there. It is Sonics against Oxygen. It is 2-0 to Sonics, but they're currently in the game 3, which is the 1v1. And it's a 1v1 that Oxygen are currently winning. A minute and 23 left there. T. Corral against Gim. I believe that is how that was.
Wow.
Oh, is he just going... I hate when players do this. I don't... I was going to call him Jim. I really was going to call him Jim. That would completely... I was like, oh, wow, they've brought in like a one specialist called Gim?
Oh, no, wait, it's just Gimmick playing one.
Yeah, it's just... I saw an air roll and then suddenly fully understood who it was. Oh, my... All right, Raised ball's mad.
Blasting through the defense for 2-0. Spider trying to pass back here, couldn't get contact. And Creams, once again, outplayed his third man. He's really been in tough spots here, though. Nobody back to help him. Has to do everything himself. And Complexity continues to outplay.
Yeah, threes is just where not only did we expect Complexity to be dominant, but they've also delivered upon it. First game was a little bit more dominant in the second half than maybe the 1-0 scoreline suggested, but that was off the back of a very good defensive performance. Unfortunately, though, across all the freeze games that we've seen, it's not been much offense there for Little Step Bros. It's offense that they've got to pull off 3 times if they want to try and take this game. As we said in the previous one, that third game is such an important one. The swing game gives you full control over that all-important tiebreaker. The game 5 you've got to imagine across 2s and 1s. I don't know. I'd imagine it's going to be 1s. I really want it to be 1s,
so.
but 2s is also there for them.
Oh, they've got 1 goal back here. Little Step Bros. Kareem's finally getting to attack instead of being stuck in defense all game. What a play that was to get a dunk on the third man's clear. Bit of a greedy play though from Complexity. They had such control. Now they only lead by 1, and that's a position that great 3 teams need to become used to. It's not a game mode where you can really build huge leads regularly. 1 goal differences are common, and in fact the most likely outcome when 2 teams take to the field.
Now Raysball back into the midfield, will not have any support by the rest of his team. Instead it's Shad waiting for it as AlphaKep couldn't swipe away early enough. He's now still downfield. AlphaKep becoming the target. Creams goes immediately for the shot, and that was interesting because typically we might see a double tap. Instead, Creams wanted to see if the defenders were paying attention. They very much were. So here's the double tap. Still saved. Complexity showing what they're capable of on the goal line.
That was a brilliant read. The timing there from Raysball to meet that double tap as it came through could not have been done any better as they continue to lead by 1. Approaching final 80 seconds of the game. You mentioned there 2v2. Actually, the game mode which was opened up with the biggest score lead out of every game we've seen, or Little Set Bros. But like you mentioned, I don't think they're going to pick it. I think they're going to go with 1s. I think after the way that 1s finished between AlphaKep and Raysball, you'll feel very confident in that matchup. Yes. But I don't know. It's also so difficult. Imagine for the 5th match, the 5th game in a series like this, to call out 1v1, to say it's okay, guys, I've got this. That takes so much confidence. I'm not sure if we'll see it as what we are going to see is a 3rd goal for Raysball. Shad thought about sealing it, but lets it go through. And credit goes to Raysball. Yeah,
I'm sure Shad was looking at this going, all right, I'm going to bump the defender. There's no one here. All right, leaving. Easy enough. But yes, the 2-goal lead re-established, and I think you do hit on a very good point there, Johnny, which is whenever we have seen players participate in 1s, it's usually for themselves. If you're disappointed, you've disappointed yourself and no one else. In this one, not quite so much. You've got some teammates that have also been playing the series along with you, and you will have them looking towards you. But I do like the sort of mind game that we might see when it just comes to selecting a 1s player for Complexity, because do you go for Raysball, who might have been downloaded in that last game? Or do you go for someone new who is not warmed up when it comes to 1s against an AlphaKep who is very much in the zone?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, different teams might try throwing a different player in for 1v1. I don't think Complexity are one of them. That was such a close matchup. If he got destroyed, if Raysball lost 10-0, and no doubt they'd try someone else. They'd give someone else a go in the match. Unless Raysball, of course, thought, nah, I can get him. Don't worry. That was just warm-up game. But with it being so close, I do expect it to be 1v1 chosen for the last game, and I do expect Raysball and AlphaKep to rematch. We will find out soon.
I'm so curious.
So far, it's gone as expected with Game 5 just around the corner.
Hey, guess what? You're going to get bored of me doing this, but this is me hyping up the format yet again. I'm so excited. I love that we're sat here. This is...
Whoa,
it is 1s, and it's AlphaKep that even said it. He wants to make sure that everyone knows he's the one throwing the gauntlet down. But Johnny, when do we even sit here in the post-game and just go, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this 1 minute that we've got between games because we don't know what we're about to play. But we do have the confirmation it is 1s. We know it's AlphaKep.
One twist. It's got to be AlphaKep.
It has.
Shad just left the lobby, then came back in. If Shad's in a Fennec and he's going to step up here to take on... No, he's not. It's
nah.
if he went out and came back in a Fennec, I'd think, wait a minute.
All right, I'm looking far too much into this, but even the fact that I got that response out of you, even little mind games as players just leave the lobby.
Everything.
Chef's kiss, man.
In a 1v1, there are so many mind games, and it all starts here with the first kickoff, where both players have gone for the standard approach. Raysball was away with the first possession, though, and he plays it early, worried about that early challenge that he used so many times against AlphaKep. He saw it coming that time, though. AlphaKep's briefly out of the game. Raysball with the first touch, not able to get it into a position to score quickly enough. Yeah,
Raysball, this is where he's really going to get tested here. I love that. You can see AlphaKep a little bit just popped over the top, and this is the difficult part, Johnny, is we talked about how Raysball can't dive in as much. Not doing that doesn't suddenly magically fix all of the problems. AlphaKep is lethal when you don't challenge him.
AlphaCap just calling Razebull on every single play here. He finished off the first 1v1 between the two players by predicting early challenges from Razebull. Now, he predicted Razebull's shadow defense play. Razebull backing away and trying to reactively defend. Now, AlphaCap dives into his net, comes out the underside of the crossbar to save Razebull's air dribble bomb.
Razebull desperate needs a goal. Just got to get that momentum back on his side. It fell away from him at the second or the last minute of the previous 1v1 game that they had. So we can take that into account. Razebull's been up against it for a while now, and that's a bit of a wild swing that he took. A show of desperation a bit too early in this game.
Yeah, that was not a high percentage play from Razebull. You've got to wonder how confident he was of getting an offensive, any kind of shot on target there. I don't think that's happening too often. This early in the game, I'm very surprised to see him taking such a risk, because these little leads are things that AlphaCap can work with. I think he's the player with more control in the matchup. Razebull, the one relying on those surprising plays. AlphaCap just happy to play standard and let his mechanics, let his decision maker do the talking. You give a good player a 2-goal lead, it is so difficult to get back.
Yeah, because now this is all Razebull trying to chase after the game. He's the one that's got to try and be a little bit more predictable at this point. It's not going to hit that for a couple of minutes just yet, but a couple more goals for AlphaCap, and you expect to see a very wild version of Razebull as he tries to get back into it. Razebull currently waiting for his opportunity. Good fake. Did have 0 boost, so he had to try and buy himself some time, but this is where AlphaCap does such good work. What a call out there by Razebull off the recovery, and it is still AlphaCap who is back just in time.
Razebull doing a better job here, but AlphaCap's still not overcommitting on any of these plays. He might have on that one, though.
That's the one. You got to score it.
Razebull gets the shot through just before the recovery. Look, that's great news for Razebull. If AlphaCap had a faster recovery here, then he would have been able to make it back for this one. Razebull able to put him out of position by a significant margin.
He's going to need more of that as well. It's one of the rare times that AlphaCap has fully bitten on one of those plays. Razebull coming out. He's had a lot of good kickoffs where he's not getting a full win, but he is getting a hold of the boost in the ball. Just gets to try and set up from over there. I'm sure you like it on the wall as well. There's the fake out on the first one. AlphaCap yet again. When he's in a position to recover, he does well, but now he's got to try and pick up the small boost. Razebull takes the shot. No boost used though by AlphaCap. That means he can recover, and Razebull respects it, backs down.
Razebull went for it there. He tried to go for the goal. Could he have just played for a possession? I think maybe, but he's got it back anyway. A little bit of boost to play with. Fakes the boost grab, goes the other way. That's bought himself enough space to play off the wall.
Razebull reset, lowers it. Oh my goodness. Razebull, eagle eye, spotted where AlphaCap was and realized that the nutmeg was on underneath, 2 each, with 2 minutes 22 on the board as well.
All 2s at the top of the screen. Brilliant from Razebull. To play into space like that, the exact right decision, even if he intended to play on the ground, but in the air, Razebull is terrifying. AlphaCap now. Similar position to what Razebull had after the last kickoff, and Razebull dives in! He's been mixing it up a little bit more than the first time the two played. AlphaCap stunned by the early challenge.
I'm so happy we see this from Razebull. He's been so disciplined, but you can be too disciplined, you can be too predictable. Razebull veers violently away from that, smashes the ball in, and like that, momentum shifts. AlphaCap, though, great kickoff with him, and he can try and set up.
AlphaCap call in Razebull's fake challenge there. A credit to Razebull. We pointed out how many times he's diving in, but this time he is mixing it up. He dove in on the last play, fakes the challenge on this one, catches the ball on the back wall, and even though AlphaCap stole the boost away, Razebull tripped him up and scores the open net. Yeah, just set up the 50-50 as to where that play might be going, and AlphaCap went for the bigger of the 2 options. What a minute Razebull has just had for himself, and there's a delayed kickoff. He's going to have the chance to set up low boost for AlphaCap. He's saved by the fact, though, that there was no power on the shot. And AlphaCap unable to shoot at the briefly open net. Razebull now stands in the way of him with plenty boost to play with, and he's not diving in. He decides to just back off on this play, again mixing up his defense. This is exactly what Razebull had to do to fix that disparity that caused AlphaCap to come back in the last game. Demos him on his retreat. The net is open. Razebull puts it past him. It's a 3-goal lead. He's doing it
all over again, and it's up to AlphaKep now that the password has been changed to figure out how RazeBull can be beaten. This is a much more tricky and complicated RazeBull than there was last time, but AlphaKep has proven himself very versatile and very capable of making this comeback happen.
And can AlphaKep outplay? Just straight up outplay RazeBull. He is going for one right now. Has a flip to work with, and he does outplay RazeBull. He has to outplay RazeBull now. There's not enough time left to dribble the ball around the field and wait for opportunities. AlphaKep forces the issue.
AlphaKep singular-minded of what he wanted. You could see in the background, very tricky RazeBull, tried to fake going off the ceiling. But I think AlphaKep was already set on his mind on what he was trying to do. It did not matter what RazeBull did. Required all of the focus on that musty flick. Now a 2-goal difference. RazeBull, that was so risky. Oh, doesn't get the reward for it. But RazeBull, 2-goal lead, a minute left, still willing to throw everything at it. Oh, what a stop.
Great save by AlphaKep. Mind game at the last second for RazeBull, who is going to recover, but he's gone really wide on the defensive play here. AlphaKep air dribbling into him. RazeBull saves the dodge and saves the ball as well.
But RazeBull does not get hold of the ball. After the fact, AlphaKep jumps straight in. Despite the fact there's not going to be a counter-attack, it is still time off the clock. RazeBull sets himself up, goes late and goes in.
Oh, RazeBull absolutely destroys AlphaKep. Flip reset into a bar down finish. That is confidence from the South American originating player. He has completely turned this one around on Kep, who had full control at the end of their last matchup. Now he has no control. RazeBull back in possession as the time runs out for Kep.
The only thing that's really there for Kep right now is that 100 boost, but he was forced to respect the shot. A lot of it used as RazeBull just able to get himself back and still dives for the challenge, realizes that every single one of those succeeds, just bleeds so much time off the clock. From the corner, what a stop there by AlphaKep, but he's got to get it in quick, otherwise this time's going to go.
Now RazeBull's just done it. He's wasting all the time that's remaining, taking no risks. This is phenomenal from RazeBull, putting the ball back into the midfield to take away any chance of an AlphaKep goal, and that runs the timeout as well. That is such an impressive game from RazeBull to completely change up his defensive strategy and still go back to those early challenges and catch out AlphaKep just like he did at the start of the first game between the two players. I mean, it shows that he's not just a player who's going to ball chase and hope it works. He's got levels to his ones game, and it's helped complexity victory here.